Current law, the Wilberforce statute passed in 2008, allows the immediate deportation without legal proceedings of these unaccompanied children coming in from Central America. It doesn't require a waiver. It doesn't require emergency status. The law very simply does not apply to the kids who are at the border seeking to be let in. That's the conclusion reached by the Center for Immigration Studies in a lengthy legal argument, which makes tremendous sense. The law was called the William Wilberforce Bill when George Bush signed it. And the reason they named it after Wilberforce is he's the guy that ended the slave trade in Britain in the early 19th century. And it was meant to apply to human trafficking, to modern slavery. And the law says that if a child enters the United States unaccompanied by an adult from a country other than Mexico or Canada, the child has to be admitted to the legal system, have an immigration hearing, be represented by counsel, be given a place to stay with a sponsor or family member in the United States, and then his case adjudicated. But that applies only to instances where there is human trafficking involved. That's what the statute is about, human trafficking. Right now, the Border Patrol, when they take in a child or arrest him, the first thing they do is determine whether he came here voluntarily, in which case he's an immigrant, or came here as a result of coercion, in which case it's an instance of human trafficking. The human trafficking goes under that Wilberforce Act. The others do not. And there's a vast difference between an immigrant and a victim of human trafficking. The difference is the element of voluntarism. Those who are coming here involuntarily because of force or deceit or trickery, to be prostitutes or forced laborers, they're victims of human trafficking, and they're given the protection of the Wilberforce Act. That's why Bush signed it. Those who come here voluntarily and run all the way across Mexico, risking their lives to come here, they're not victims. They're trying to get in illegally. And the left has seized on this law with the complicity of the media in the U.S., the mainstream media, to say that this law applies to those immigrant children when it does not. And as a result, Congress is tying itself in a knot. The Democrats saying we won't approve immigration funding unless the Wilberforce Act remains in force and maybe is strengthened. And the Republicans are saying we won't vote the funding unless the act is totally repealed. And the fact is, it is totally irrelevant. It does not apply to these children. Now, as Winston Churchill said, a fact, the truth, is barely putting on its slippers in the morning, while a lie has made it halfway around the world. And that's the case in this situation. There are three terms that are being mixed up here: refugees, which these people are not because there is no war; victims of trafficking, which these people are not because they're coming here voluntarily; and immigrants, which these children are. And the issue is not asylum or protection. They're illegal immigrants and should and can be deported immediately. No hearing, no lawyer, no stay. Go right from the border onto an airplane. And that's what we need to do, particularly since a lot of these folks are coming over with their families, paying the coyotes to bring them. If they get sent right back, that's the last time they're paying a coyote to make that trip. Thanks for watching.